crisis. We've seen prices here almost double in 5 years. And houses were not very affordable for our low and moderate income families before then. Now they're increasingly out of reach. And we know certainly is we support every kind of housing, and we need more of all of it. We have underbuilt as a country and world for the last 12, 14 years since the housing crisis. And so we need to increase the supply. But Habitat for Humanity's particular niche is home ownership. And we believe that there is not only for the family a huge benefit to owning a home, but it's also important to the community. And we look at communities with higher percentages of home ownership, and on almost every dimension, they're healthier communities. It also means that families grow and prosper with the community rather than potentially being displaced or pushed out by growth and progress. And so we see is when you look at the wealth gap in our country, a huge percentage of that is explained by whether or not families have had the opportunity to purchase and own a home and build that intergenerational asset that so many of us have had that opportunity for. We now have a country where there is nowhere in the United States that a family making a minimum wage can afford even a one-bedroom apartment at under 30% of their income. And that is, you think then about all the impossible choices a family has to make in terms of education, healthcare, food security, and all the other needs. So housing is certainly not the only need, but in many ways, housing is a prerequisite for all the other things we want in a healthy community. So we are thrilled to be here in Charlotte. We are thrilled to be resurrecting after a pandemic-induced gap the Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work Project. It's bittersweet because this is the first time we've ever had the Carter Project without President and Mrs. Carter. And yesterday we did the opening ceremonies very appropriately on President Carter's 99th birthday. And we thought no better way to honor the legacy of the Carters by getting back to work and continuing to build. So we are thrilled to be here and thrilled to keep the extraordinary legacy of the Carters going. Most of the world thinks that President and Mrs. Carter both started and run Habitat for Humanity. That turns out not to be true. But what is true is in 1984, when the Carters got on a bus from South Georgia and came up to New York City to help rehab a tenement building on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, it was when the world found out about Habitat. And that became the first of what turned into 35 years of the Carters building all over the world, inspiring thousands and thousands of volunteers. Over 100,000 volunteers have helped build almost 4,000 Habit houses directly. But because of their example and inspiration, Habitat has grown from a tiny organization when they got involved to now having helped over 46 million people around the world have new or improved housing in over 70 countries. So we are grateful that you are here to help tell the story. It is so exciting to be back on the build site, and we are so thrilled that Garth Brooks and Tricia Yearwood, who are the next Habitat humanitarians after President and Mrs. Carter, have so graciously agreed to be hosts and to carry on the legacy. So I am thrilled to introduce Tricia Yearwood, who is going to talk about their engagement.
Well, hi everybody. We are thrilled to be here, and we've done over a dozen Carter bills, and we were there when it was renamed from the Jimmy Carter Work Project, the Jimmy Carter and Rosalind Carter Work Project, which was such an honor because Miss Rosalind works just as hard as Mr. Carter, and we've learned a lot by building alongside them. It has been kind of bittersweet, as Jonathan said, for them to not be here, but they're here, and they watched from home last night, and I feel their eyes on us as we build. We thought about him just a little bit ago. We were the first ones to get our first wall up, and we know that President Carter will be very happy with that. so they're with us. We love Habitat because when we got in from the very first time we built after Katrina in New Orleans, we learned immediately that this was a good organization that did what they said they were going to do. And it's a hand up, not a handout. You work alongside the homeowner. You'll get to meet a great homeowner here in a minute. And so we are invested in these homes, and so are the homeowners, and it just works. They're the best borrowers. They know they don't fault on their loans. The houses stand because even though I'm not a builder, where you would put one nail, I would put four, so the house is going to stand forever. And we're just honored to be here.
Very much so. Like Miss Laura said, it's harder than ever to afford a home, but the fact that a home is a basic necessity of life. President Carter believed as long as there's one person on this planet without a roof over their head, Habitat's job is not done. I have to agree with that. Jonathan told you that in 1984, a couple came from Georgia to do their thing with Habitat. 40 years later, a couple, one of them from Georgia, one from Oklahoma, come together to do whatever we're going to do with Habitat. But it's real important for me and Ms. Sherwood for you guys to know that we're not taking the place of President and First Lady. We're not taking the place of the Carters. We're here to honor them, honor their legacy. And we made a deal with Jonathan and all of Habitat that as long as it's called the Carter Work Project, then me and Ms. Sherwood will be very honored to host it until they're through with us hosting it, or whatever time runs out, whatever. Just proud to be a part of this. And it's pretty cool to go somewhere where you're not the big star. Well, being married to her, that's usual for me, but the fact that the homeowner is right there, ours is Jeremy, and working beside Jeremy today is the greatest honor we have. Just feel really, really lucky to be part of it. I would like to thank Laura and Jonathan on behalf of me and Ms. Sherwood to just let us be part of today and this week.
Thank you. And you're right, the real stars are the homeowners. So as part of the Carter Work Project, we're working on 27 homes. Within this neighborhood, there are 39 homes. One of the homeowners is with us today. LaPree will be one of our very first homeowners moving into one of the houses that's over on the side here. And we are thrilled that we were able to build that with and for her and her daughter. So let me turn it over to LaPree.
Hi everyone, I am LaPree Holmes and I am a proud homeowner of Meadows at Plato Price. I joined Habitat through the Money Matters program, which is a financial literacy program to assist our homeowners into getting educated on what homeownership really is. And being a part of the Carter Project and being a part of this neighborhood is definitely fulfilling one of my hopes and dreams to become a homeowner. I'll be living there with my 16-year-old daughter Bailey, and we're both really ecstatic to move into this community. And I put in so many hours of sweat equity to actually build my home. I've built my home from the ground up every day, every weekend. I've been out here with all the volunteers and the community, and I'm thankful for Habitat for selecting my family to be a candidate for this project, and I'm very grateful along with my neighbors for Habitat, because without Habitat, having affordable housing would definitely not be possible, because right now I live in a one-bedroom apartment, and I'm paying over 50% of my income in that in my rent. So my mortgage being within 30% is going to be a life changer for me and Bailey, and it'll also be a home that I can leave for her legacy.
Good for you.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you, LaPree, for being with us. What we're going to do is we're going to open it up to questions. So we're going to try and do one per outlet. I'm going to try and moderate, so we see how we do. There are microphones, I understand. There are runners. So I'm going to start here.
Hi, my name is Bill McGinty. It's nice to meet you, LaPree. Your daughter's going to be able to do her homework there, birthday parties, invite friends over, sleepovers. This is going to be life-changing not only for you, but for her in the long term. That's got to be overwhelming for you.
It's very overwhelming for both me and her, especially since we are currently living in overcrowded housing, and being able to move into our 3-bedroom home is definitely a life changer, and we'll have room for sleepovers and birthday parties, as you stated.
Great.
I like birthday parties. I like cake.
You can come.
With other questions?
They're going to make it easy on us.
I know.
I know.
Yes.
Talk about our community partners. Obviously, love and the important role they play in all this.
You betcha. What is your name, sir?
My name is Ken.
Ken.
Well, it's $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Each. Help me with the
Our
three.
diamond sponsors,
Bank of America.
Bank of America,
Lowe's.
Wells Fargo, and Lowe's.
Yeah. So, I mean, that to get $3 million off the bat, I would imagine makes you go, okay, we got this, we can do this. I mean, that's incredible. That doesn't always happen. And we've built with Lowe's several bills. I mean, you've been a big partner with Habitat for a lot of years. I mean, we couldn't do it without these sponsorships. So it's amazing.
And you said we, and then you pointed to Lowe's, but don't forget, let's talk about the community of Charlotte. I've played here in Charlotte for 3 decades now. You fight your way in and you fight your way out. They're passionate about their stuff. This is a guaranteed good time. So when we knew we were coming to build here, we knew they'd bring their hammers, and we knew they'd swing hard. And it's fun, and man, I gotta tell you, it's really cool. We're back in the corner, courts, but I can't see much. But it's a brawl back there right now between the house next to us and us. Safety first, of course, and it's not a competition, but we definitely want to finish first.
Other questions?
Yes,
I've got
ma'am.
one here. The microphone.
Yes, so I'm from Rockville, South Carolina.
Yes, ma'am.
And some of our guys are here, Tim Beek with York County Habitat. Why is it important to have all of the areas together coming here to build these homes?
I think, this is the one event a year where we try to shine a spotlight on a national need. And so I think it is representative. The center of Habitat's mission is bringing people together. And I think it's wonderful to see volunteers coming from around the Habitat family, from around the world as well as around the country, because it reminds everybody this is not just a need here. It's a bigger story of housing, and every community we need has an undersupply of housing and a huge affordability challenge. So it's wonderful to see the fellowship of our sisters and brothers from the bigger Habitat family.